Hey guys, I just wanted to make sure that everybody could hear me. I had some technical difficulties yesterday. So if you don't mind, put a comment in the comment box and let me know if you can hear me. We'll get started at 1:30. Thanks. All right, hey guys. Oh, I see Christy, you're having connection problems. Um, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm glad everyone can hear me. I'm Jessica Gill. I am a speech language pathologist that works on the assistive technology team. This will be my 20th year in Livingston Parish, so I'm very excited about that. Today, I'm going to give a presentation on a program that we use with our special education students called Snap&Read. And I'm just going to ask y'all for some grace ahead of time because this is a little different mode of presentation for me with YouTube and all of that. So there may be some times with where we have like some awkward kind of pausing because I have to wait and let things load up into my browser. So just sit tight and then we'll get things moving. Okay, so let me share my screen. Anybody else? Let me see. See, Christy, are you in? I'm gonna go here and we will get started. Okay, so Snap&Read is a program that we use with our students with special needs that provides a reading support for those students. What is Snap&Read? Snap&Read is a reading tool available as an extension in Google Chrome. And it covers diverse reading needs. It reads both accessible and inaccessible text aloud. It has the ability to level vocabulary and also provide translation. We began a pilot program in the spring of 2018 for our students that were referred to assistive technology for reading concerns. And the pilot program was pushed out to some classes that had access to the old program Kurzweil that we used to use. And we wanted to kind of get a comparison between the two, you know, how whether one worked better than the other, how easy was it for the students to use and the teachers to use. And the results from the pilot program both showed that the results were positive. So you like my little heart break up. So we had Kurzweil versus Snap&Read. Kurzweil was a program that we used for many years to provide supports in reading and writing. And however, it was being underused in our district. So in September of 2018, we did a survey to kind of look and see who was using it, how they were using it. And part of that problem was because we had upgraded to Windows 10. And when we upgraded across the parish to Windows 10, Kurzweil was no longer performing consistently. Some schools had their K drive, other schools did not. Some were able to access the program on the K drive, other schools were not. So we had to kind of start looking to see what we were going to do. Are we going to continue and upgrade to a cloud-based Kurzweil program, or are we going to go with something else? And because Kurzweil was very, very, very expensive to upgrade to the cloud-based. So the results of the survey that we did in September of 2018, only 24% of our special education teachers district-wide were using it. And of that 24%, 88% of the teachers were using it strictly for text-to-speech. And that included using it in read aloud labs in order to meet like a test read aloud accommodation. So we looked at some other programs. We looked at Read, Write, and Gold. We looked at different things that were free that would work through our Chrome extension and things like that. However, we needed something that would provide a little bit more support than just strictly, read aloud. So the participants in the pilot program, they felt like Snap&Read was more user-friendly Both teachers and the students felt that it was easier to use. Plus, it cut down on the need to have a Kurzweil manager on each campus, since it's a cloud-based support. And most importantly, the students with special needs that we piloted the program with improved their LEAP scores when they were compared to their previous year scores. And there were students that were able to be successfully moved into an inclusion setting with support rather than being pulled out for resource. So that was definitely a positive. So features of Snap&Read. Within this Chrome extension program, there are, it offers read aloud. It can read text aloud across websites, PDFs, and documents in Google Drive. There's also the ability to dynamic text leveling. It'll dynamically adjust the readability of text without changing the meaning. It has the ability to write onto PDF worksheets and assignments. You can highlight text, take notes, and then you can save all that to Google Drive. There are study tools available there. You can pull text into an outline, and then you can organize it and add notes. There's also the ability to remove distractions. So if it's a web-based article, you can take to where it will pull the text out and get rid of pictures. It'll adjust the fonts and spacing, number of characters per line in order to create the best reading experience possible. It has the ability to use color overlays and reading line guides to bring focus to text paragraph by paragraph and line by line. Other features are it has a picture supported dictionary. So if there's a word that the student doesn't recognize and they click on the word, it'll pull up a definition. Plus it'll also include an icon representation so that they have a picture base to support their comprehension of that word. There's also a screenshot reader, and what that does, it gives you instant access to text embedded in images and inaccessible PDFs and through optical character recognition. There's a readability analyzer. You can see the grade level equivalent of the text on the page. And then there's also the feature to collect data to show how often your students are actually using it and what the readability levels are of the things that they've been reading. So who is able to access Snap&Read? Students receiving special education services who have been identified as having a print disability, and those students require an AT evaluation. And then students that are receiving special education services who qualify for AIM or accessible educational materials. And students receiving special education or 504 services who require read aloud for online testing. Last year, we started pushing the program out to special education students who were in the middle school because their CSA testing no longer had the text-to-speech feature built into it. And so we pushed this program out to them so that they could meet the human reader accommodation on those online testing. Any questions so far? Okay, good, Christy. I see you're in. Great. Okay, so how does a qualifying student get a Snap&Read account? Students must receive a login via the Assistive Technology Department or 504 Program Coordinator. And then Snap&Read, once they have an account, it's available as a Chrome extension through the student's district provided Google account. Okay, how does my student log into Snap&Read? They would log into their Livingston Parish Public Schools student Google account, which is the same prefix as their Office 365 account. So mine would be jessica.gill@livingstoneschools.net instead of at lpsb.org. Then you would have to turn on the Snap&Read extension and log in, and then you're able to utilize the available tools. And I'm going to walk y'all through that in just a minute so you can see. Okay, let me switch my screen sharing real quick, and I'm going to show you how the students are able to log in. Give me just a second. Okay, let me switch screens real quick. Hey guys, let me go back in and pull up this one. Okay, great. So the way that the students log into their district Google account is when you open the Chrome browser, you click on this little icon up here. It could be, it looks like mine's a fox maybe. There are different pictures that automatically come up, or you can choose. You would do turn on sync. And then I'm going to use my own daughter's account. She is kgill3 at livingstoneschools.net. And their password is the same as what they have for Office 365. This will come through. You always want to link data. Turn on sync. That just means that if you have it, if you have a Google account that's open across different type of devices, everything will sync together. And what happens is up here at this top right corner, the extensions that are pushed out through our IT department will slowly sometimes very slowly start to load up. Now let's see. Sometimes it can take up to a minute. And I'm not sure if maybe they're working on something through IT on the students' accounts right now either. I had trouble yesterday waiting for this extension to load in. So what I am going to do is I'm going to close this one out, and I'm going to show you on mine. So when your student logs in, providing everything works great and all the extensions load in, you'll see this little bullseye up here. And they would click that bullseye, and let me sign out real quick. Okay, so they would click the bullseye and they would sign in. And it would be their same Google account. For your student, they would be able to click right here where it says sign in with Google. If they're signed into their district Google account, and if they have a license for Snap&Read. If not, you're going to get this window that'll pop up that says free trial or sign in, and it's going to give you an error message saying that you don't have an account, or make it look like you need to buy, like to purchase it. And if that's the case, then your student does not have an account and you need to contact me. So they would log in right here, sign in with Google. My account is a little different because I've had it for a long time. So my username is still under my Office 365. Once they get signed in, you'll see the little bullseye up here. Instead of being gray, it turns blue. And then you get the Snap and Read toolbar down this right side of your screen. Okay. So what are the tools available? First off, I opened a new window. Let me pull up my PowerPoint so I can pull up the article that I want to read to y'all. My sample. Okay. Copy. So the tools that are available, the first tool is Text Reader 1. And that is noted by the little speaker. That's the tool that you'll use to read PDFs, and it reads most text on websites. The next one is Text Reader 2, and it reads text that the Text Reader 1 will not read. There's also the Text Leveler, and that will change hard words to words that are easier to understand. And then there are the color overlay options. So okay, so here is my toolbar. So the first one is Text Reader 1. And what that will do, let me make this a little bigger. You select it and then select anywhere on the screen.
A kaleidoscope of cool. Discover the spectacular spectrum of shells. There are over 500 species, from angel to zebra. Some are skinny, some are slim. Many eels have fish, while others prefer to swim in boats with no gigantic. The roots of your spine is built from projectiles around the land.
Okay, so that is Text Reader 1. Text Reader 2 works a little bit differently. That's the screenshot reader. And what it will do is, okay, let me show you. Actually, I have a better idea. You can open PDFs.
A kaleidoscope of cool.
Okay, you can open PDFs through this program. So let me show you that, and then I'll give you an example of that screenshot reader or Text Reader 2, how that would work. So I am going to open a PDF from my device. I can open from Google Drive, Microsoft OneDrive. I am going to go Okay, I'm looking, Christy, you're asking me, is there sound? Yes, when you see on the screen the words highlighting, it's actually reading it aloud. It may be kind of difficult for you to hear because it's going through my computer speakers and my computer headphones, microphone, and all of that. So it may be hard to hear through the transmission. But if you would like to be able to hear it later, if you want to set up, maybe we could do a Zoom meeting or something like that, and I could show you that way if you're not able to hear. Were everybody else, were y'all able to hear? And I'm gonna wait 15 seconds while I pull this up and make sure. Nope, this is not the one that I wanted. This is what I wanted. Pull it over here. No, this is not the one that I wanted. This is what I wanted. Pull it over here. I'm going to have to turn off my speakers on my computer because now I'm echoing. But whenever you I have not quite figured out when I'm operating multiple screens because I have 3. My browser is on one screen, but not the other. Let me drag it back over here. It's the craziest thing, y'all. Here it is. Okay, let me go back to stream and stop. And then I'm going to share again here. And I'm going to go here. And I'm chasing my browser. Good thing our students don't use multiple displays, right? Give me just a second, guys. Okay, good. You can hear now, Christy. Great. All right, guys. Okay. One more time. Open my PDF for my device. Hang on one second, guys. Okay, so this would be an example of inaccessible print. When we go here. And of course, it's going to take forever to load. There we go. Just find the map, right? Okay, so for text reader 1, it is not going to read that. It's going to read. Okay, so for text reader 1, it is not. I'm going to have to mute myself. It's not going to read that. If you notice when I click on it, you're not going to be able to hear it because my speakers are tied into my laptop and it's going to be echoing while I'm talking right now. But it doesn't turn green or anything. And when I did it earlier, it actually said like this gobbledygook kind of stuff. You couldn't really understand it. But if you do the screen reader 2, you can do this way. And it'll read it. I don't know if you could tell that it was highlighting each word. So let me get back to where I was. The text leveler. So what that is, when you are, pull this over. It's on. It's going to load up. What it'll do when you do the text leveler, it'll change some of the words in the text to make it a little bit easier to understand. So let's go, and we're going to hit the text leveler to simplify the vocabulary. And it'll take a second. And you can see it'll kind of make the words look italicized, that they changed. And if you put your cursor over that, it'll give you a definition. So many, and it says for generations to come, for many years. Here's your Spanish. So the original text was for generations to come, and it simplified it to for many years. The same thing in here under the under the characteristics of the shark. It will, let's see, what did it change it to? Instead of similar to what we have in our noses, it'll change that to almost the same as what we have in our noses. The shark's breathing and lung-related organ was respiratory. So it simplified respiratory to breathing and lung-related organ. There's also in here the ability in the settings to change under options. You can change the color overlay. You can change the line reading guide. You're able to change the highlighted text color and also the background color. So if your student has a preference for that, or maybe there's something that helps them attend a little bit better visually, you are able to do that. Okay, close this, go back to my presentation, and y'all just excuse me because instead of going back into full screen mode and all of that to simplify things, I'm just going to leave it alone. There are also study tools. So there's a way you can make notes and outlines. And if you go back to your article, and here comes that here at the bottom towards the right, you see the little arrow pointing out. When you click that, it opens up notes. So if you wanted to do a new note, you would hit the plus and you could change it to sharks. I'm gonna rename it. And then you can go through and your student would be able to listen to the story be presented through text to speech, and then they can highlight some important facts to put into their outline. So let's say there are over 500 species of sharks. So we'll highlight that and press this capture text, and it will put it into the outline. It's say some are speedy, some are slow. That would be important. Many feast on fish. And then if you wanted to important, let's say important characteristics. And let's put that in there. They have soft skeletons. Can go here. And then let's bring it in one. They have 5 to 7 gill slits. So that would give them information to study from, or to write a paper on. In here, there are also different templates that you can use for outlines. So say you wanted them to do a nonfiction main ideas and supported details. It will also give them this kind of an outline for them to go through and read and pull out their information. You can also do annotation in PDFs. So let me hide this outline, get it out of my way. And then I'm going to go here. I'm going to open my PDF from my device. Go to my Tech Week folder. Okay, so by pressing the annotation tool, you can go in and the students could select text and put their cursor right here. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, I hope. Okay, so then they can, there's like a lag. Okay, so I can type my name on that paper. This would be a good opportunity for me to show you the capture. If I try to do screen reader 1 here, maybe I don't want it to read the entire. And I'm just going to choose this one section. And see it highlighted each word. So you could tell that's where, that's how we know it's reading aloud without my speakers turned up. If you wanted them to answer the question, what a shark skeleton is made of what, they can go back to this annotation tool and choose this. And then they could highlight their answer to indicate their response. Go here. We want them to write shark. Maybe they don't have the ability to do that and share it. You could do shark. And then you would save it. And when you save it, if it's an assignment that you would want them to share back with you, you can save it in your Google Drive. And when I go to my Google Drive, it will show up there. So I'm able to open that from my Google Drive with my answers highlighted. I've typed on it. If you wanted them to share it with you, all they would have to do would be to right click and go share, put in your email address. So I'm going to share it with a coworker of mine, Emily Andrews. Put it right there. I'm going to send it to her. And then now she has access to my document that I typed on and send it back that way. And I'm sure you have that ability to, know how to share and all that through your Google Classroom. Since that's a Google product, it should work exactly the same. Okay. So how do you send assignments to your students? You would use your district provided Google account. You would want to share those assignments through either Google Classroom or Google Drive. If you're working with older students and you're sharing tests, you want to be sure that you retract that document from them as soon as possible. And there may be some features built into Google Classroom to automatically do that. And on the scale that we have been using it with our kids, we've had to just manually go back in and retract it, or Google does have a feature where you can set it to automatically retract in 24 hours. And then, they won't have access to that document after the fact so that they don't share it with other students. Okay, that's really all that I have. Does anyone have any questions or anything? Any questions at all? Okay, so there is a URL that's in the comments section under the YouTube video. There, you have to complete an attendance survey and you will be entered for door prizes. And everybody loves door prizes. So if you will go to that website and indicate your attendance, we would greatly appreciate it. And then the feedback survey for Tech Week, that link is also in with the information from the video. So if you could go and give some feedback and let us know how we did, let me know how I did. I'm always interested to see, how the information comes across and whether or not it's useful. Was it beneficial for y'all to participate in today's session? So go ahead and do that. Any other questions? Thanks, Vanessa. Look, I'll sit on for a little while. If anybody wants to come into the comments, or if y'all would like to Zoom or something like that, maybe to answer some more specific questions, just let me know. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I just wanted to let y'all know that that's all we have for today. So, okay, guys, I'm sorry. I just wanted to that's all we have for today. So, okay, guys, I'm sorry. Ooh, sorry, guys. That's the whole feedback with the speakers, and you're recording yourself at the same time. So, anyway, sorry for that. Just let me know if y'all have any questions. Okay. All right, guys, that's it.